Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question. And this is an excellent question because I think a lot of you will resonate with it and get a lot out of it, is how do you rebuild your self-esteem, your confidence, and really sort of your trust in life and trust in the process after you've been through a very manipulative relationship, something that got toxic, something that was filled with a lot of violation energy, someone who may be narcissistic, psychopathic, whatever label you want to give, it became toxic, it became this violation energy. And how do you rebuild? Almost like a house that's been hit by a tsunami, how do you rebuild your self-esteem? So I think that's a great viewer question, really for wherever you are on the journey. But before we get started, I want to give a super huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. Thank you so much. It is great to hear from you, and thank you for your support and letting me know that you're really sort of hitting home and you're taking strides in your life, that we've provided a forum and a community to discuss this, sort it out, and emerge even greater from this relationship that can oftentimes be very bewildering. So thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for your support and contributing and participating here at the channel. So thank you so much. And if this channel has been a positive resource and we've made a positive impact, please do feel free to participate and support the channel at the PayPal Donate Now button here on the video. This is a two-way situation. It is a live entity, this community. So your engagement is so very much appreciated. So thank you so much. And we're going to zoom in, and my prayers go out to all of you who have been through this sort of relationship where it's really sort of torn you down. It's gotten to the core. It's taken a lot of your life energy away. It's taken apart, you know, an arm and a leg, and you're feeling sort of less than. You're feeling kind of broken. You know, like the song, "Take These Broken Wings and Learn to Fly." You know, it's very difficult to hit the ground running after this sort of relationship that has been really sort of through and through tainted with somebody who has been super controlling. In other words, they took advantage of your good nature, where you really kind of looked up to them. You know, sort of allowed them and their egoic side to take control of the relationship and take control of you. In other words, in the name of love, you sort of became vulnerable, put your guard down, and then allowed yourself to go with a relationship that in the long run was not in your best interest. And when we talk about someone who is in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath, we're truly talking about someone who is really in not only the egoic mind, but a deceptive nature. Meaning what you see is not what you get with these people. It's all on your shoulders and you don't even realize it. There's an unspoken tension. There's an unspoken burden. There's sort of a beast within you that wants you to keep them happy, and you sort of modify and become fearful of your own success, or, you know, fear of disappointing this person. So you really begin this development of sort of making them the center of everything. They're the center of your world, center of your life. They are the one. There's this feeling of, you know, no one else compares to this person. This is the one for me. These are a lot of the spoken, you know, dialogue in your heart when you know, go in a relationship. And oftentimes there can be tinges of negativity that create this, and you want to resolve that negativity, the tension. Perhaps they can, you know, have a certain amount of anger. You know, these negative states, which are really undesirable, but people oftentimes perpetuate and stay in the relationship and begin to people please, meaning that, you know, in order to dissipate or reduce this uncomfortable feeling of jealousy or aloneness, or not, you know, feeling that, the life is too big, you know, and that, you know, I just kind of cling to this person. So the manipulators will very much encourage that, and then this sort of reaction formation, or, looking for your reactivity. And then this people pleasing is then set up, i.e., oftentimes not just on this, oftentimes focused and honed in on this one person. And there's this betrayal of oneself. And this really corrodes the self-esteem. And it's unrecognizable in the beginning, in the love bombing stage, when this is all set up. You don't see it coming. It catches you by surprise. And it's not a sudden surprise, but an ongoing, painful surprise. Oftentimes with many exposures, many confrontations, or many ignoring, and just sort of not calling out because you don't feel comfortable. You don't want to lose this person, so you don't say anything. This person has really kind of gotten that position of, being above, the stronger, the more intelligent, the one with the ideas. There's this gap. There's not a levelness, a balance to the relationship. And in order to really coexist with this, there's going to be a reduction in self-esteem. The diminishment of the ego, which is all about sort of this, what you see on the outside versus what you feel on the inside. So, in this society, especially where a lot of things are headed, it's very easy to get caught up in that cycle, in the whirlwind, very quickly, especially now in the information age where we have Facebook and postings and all these alerts on your phone, which really are a distraction, oftentimes from feeling good, your self-esteem, from valuing yourself, or just valuing a B state, just to exist and get that balance. A lot of these relationships will throw you out of balance unknowingly. Financial imbalance, emotional imbalance, physical imbalance, and definitely, this unhappiness, because the unhappiness, really the cause is created, your effect, oftentimes is this ego that you come up against with someone who is a narcissist or a psychopath. In other words, you find them as a friend, but what is required, or a lover, or a family member, or someone in your employer, in order to survive, you have to, exist in this reaction formation, which is like a Freudian term, basically where you're just, you're diminishing or completely denying the existence of what's real for you. In other words, in order to keep what's real for them. And God, this is like such deep stuff. So thank you so much for your videos. It's just like mind-boggling how much we can discover with the questions, and then for you to explore this, because people don't take time. You really have to know how to deal with people, relationships, especially in the information age, and how people will use Facebook to manipulate others and create this, did you see this post? Or, now with texting and sending images, photos, it makes this huge gateway for a lot of cheating behavior, a lot of sly, cunning behavior. For those people who are narcissistic or psychopathic, I mean, this is like their mighty kingdom. I mean, this is like, the phone is like their kryptonite. They can share, Instagram, photos, lewd texts, sexting, and you will never even know it. They conceal, it's like a conceal and carry situation where, you get this sneaky feeling that something is going on, and that it sends you on this goose chase, which is the reaction formation, which is a corroding of the self-esteem. It's a corroding of your value, which is your inner B state, which is like, I am here and everything is okay. I am here and all is well. That is an important feeling for you to really create and make sure that you experience in the spectrum of the feelings that you exist and experience within the day, which is, I am here and all is well. I am here and all is well. when you get that, you can kind of feel a feeling well up in your heart space. And this is, an important feeling to include in your repertoire. Other than jealousy, envy, concern, fear, worry, all the self-doubt, distrust, being deceived, these are all feelings that you might have experienced in this relationship, particularly that of tension. And if we can really categorize it, oftentimes very negative. And there's going to be negative and positive in life, but it is an imbalance. It's over the top negative. There's too much tension, controlling, stuck in this egoic state of forms of relationships aren't for the fact of being, they collect them, like a collector piece. You are not a gadget. You don't have to be, in this whole supply relationship where you're helping them versus getting into and knowing your own self-esteem and being empowered and being able to exist in relationships in that state, which we are, all is here and all is well. If you allow yourself to feel that, once again, you might feel sort of a sense of joy. Just all of a sudden you can kind of exhale and you can just sort of be present. That is a hugely important B state for you to incorporate in your repertoire of feelings, especially this feeling that you are allowed to experience in the relationship as a whole. Because you are whole, you are complete. The narcissist and the psychopath will create a feeling or cause you to feel incomplete, insubordinate, inferior. All these sort of, I am missing what it takes. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable just the way that I am. And, it reminds me, and this is sort of corny, but, there was this Jessica Simpson song called, it was like, I only had my t-shirt on and I never felt as beautiful as I do with you. In other words, you can just be and you feel okay. This is a very important, and this is just an example that how to recover self-esteem that has been corroded, corrupted, and sort of broken down, and you have nothing but really sort of a crumble, you feel, kind of crumbled into pieces. And, you have to get it together. I think it's very important when we talk about healing and recovering, it's very important so this isn't repeated and your life is free and liberated and enlarged. And be careful of fear of success, because oftentimes that's what keeps people going back, to the same cycle, as they have a fear of success. What will happen if I feel good? What will happen if I don't feel guilty? What will happen if I permit my talents and my interests to take the helm in life? What happens if I receive unseen support from divine intelligence, like Peace and Harmony is talking about? What happens when things really begin to come together and I have synchronicity in my life and I'm smiling for no reason and I'm okay and I'm letting go of the toxicity and I'm letting go of checking my phone and I'm letting go of the hunt and trying to right the wrong and right this person. Instead, I'm going to make everything all right with myself. This oftentimes is a very infrequent, unvisited feel state. You have to understand that healing, it comes from a feeling state. It is so simple, but so complicated. Humans, we have become so evolved in one area, but we become disinvolved or de-involved in another area, which oftentimes is a happiness state, which is a God-given joy of being state. Eckhart Tolle, the power of now. And I'm helping, with all this today just to help give you basically the cliff notes, where you can get the answer rather than taking, years and months, to get there. It's to understand the cause that's created this effect of feeling low self-esteem, meaning a low valuation of yourself that has been created, that has been projected by this single-handed individual. This is erroneous thinking. This is flawed thinking. This is flawed being. To feel and accept their measuring stick for the standard how you should live your life, how they will thwart you, the criticism, the cheating, the lies, the pulling one over on you for the sake of pulling it over, not allowing you to shine, but only, helping them to shine. It's very important that you understand, yes, it's great to be with others. However, it's important that you shine and are allowed to shine, and that you're not sort of clenched down into this reduced state, this diminished state where people are dismissive of your feelings, such as we see with those toxic individuals. They thrive on dimming others' lights so that they can shine brighter. And they can be it's like the only, it's the old, saying, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. That's, and they're reducing your inner space. To have healing and recover your sense of self-esteem is to allow an inner spaciousness. This is where your power is going to get fired up and ignited. Inner spaciousness is an experience when you get into sort of a Zen-like or awareness state, coming present, not allowing yourself to get caught up in the labeling and the forms that have been created by this egoic mind of this person, oftentimes where there's judgment. And it's very interesting because there's a really popular pop song that talks about this, and the lyrics, it's like, you call me love and I don't feel a thing. And it's just, I just heard it for the first couple songs, but it really is a great, beautiful song. I mean, she's got like this incredible voice, and she's on the radio, and I'll find out who the artist is. And she talks about, you say I am love and I don't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I feel weak. In other words, it's kind of, this person is maybe coming out of a toxic situation, and then she discovers she's not all these negative things that are the result. You have to understand really the negatives, kind of like to stay away from, that have created the low self-esteem. The criticism, the ignoring, the lying, the duplicity, creates a lack of being present. The anxiety reduces, so that spaciousness. So to get into this, the positive self-esteem is to come into alignment with just your B state, what I call, basically, it's like eternal peace. So you allow that when you get into a very quiet state that is not with your mind thinking and labeling and describing and good or bad and all those voices. It's allowing them to cease and allowing a B state where you stop labeling and stop defining and just allow yourself to be, and then start to listen to some beautiful sounds, things that you might just hear, and then find that value in that awareness and know that